Good evening, everyone. It's 5:30, and I would like to call this annual organizational meeting of the Lansing School District Board of Education to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Dr. Boddy? Dr. Burrows?
Here.
Ms. Hodgen?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawrence?
Here.
Mrs. Lilgy?
Here.
Mr. Lopez? Oh. Mrs. Moore? Oh, that's right, she's absent. Dr. Rodriguez?
Here.
And Mrs. Willis?
Present.
Quorum is present.
Just barely. Thank you very much. And I know that Mr. Lopez and Mrs. Moore will not be with us this evening, and we hope that they get well soon. Any additions to the annual organizational meeting agenda? Seeing none and seeing no public comment on agenda items this evening, just for everyone's information, the purpose of this first meeting that we have this evening is to appoint board officers for the evening and to take care of some housekeeping, so to speak. We will reaffirm the law firms that we use, the financial institutions that we use, our FOIA officers, and quite a few other housekeeping items that we, by law, have to do as a school board. So we will go on to do that. Ma'am?
I forgot. When you asked if someone had something to mention, that I wanted could I nominate Dr. Rodriguez as our next president? Could I do that? Can we get that?
We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Thank you. So moving on to our action items for this evening. First up is our election of officers. Ms. Lilgy, would you like to make a motion?
I would, thank you. I'd like to nominate the following slate for officers for this board for 2022. Gabrielle Lawrence as president, Nathan Burrows as vice president, Nino Rodriguez as secretary, and Rachel Willis as treasurer. Did I get it right?
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lilgy. I will support your it feels awkward for me to support your motion, but I will support your motion. Mary Kay, can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Does everyone accept your nomination?
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Rodriguez, yes? Okay.
Freedom.
He has freedom, he says. Is there any discussion on this motion?
Did Robin come into the meeting?
Our members who are not present this evening, after checking a few different sources, they are not able to participate virtually.
Okay.
But thank you for checking on that. Does anyone have discussion regarding this motion? Dr.
I
Rodriguez?
move the motion will be closed.
The nomination.
The nomination will be closed.
Okay,
Support.
okay. Will the clerk please call the roll?
This is the vote for.
Dr. Burrows?
This is the vote,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Is this the vote for closing nominations? This is the vote for closing nominations. Thank you, Mrs. Willis.
Yes.
Who supported?
Dr. Burrow supported it.
Dr. Rodriguez made the motion, Dr. Burrows supported it. So now we'll vote on the motion to close nominations.
Dr. Burrows?
Yes.
Ms. Hodgen?
Yes, I think. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
She said yes.
Oh, okay. Mrs. Lawrence?
Yes.
Mrs. Lilgy?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez? Oh, sorry. Dr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Willis?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now we will There was no discussion on Missy's motion, so we will now vote on Missy's proposed slate.
Can I say something about this?
Discussion on the slate?
Yes.
Yes.
I think you have done a terrific job. In fact, I am the oldest member, and I have to say you have been one of the best presidents. The reason why I am voting for Nino is because not that, probably going to be his last time running, and he's been everywhere in the district, and it's a nice goodbye and thank you and we love you. But it has nothing to do with your performance. I want you to know that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hodgson. I appreciate that. And you know that I also am the president of Dr. Rodriguez's fan club.
I'm vice president.
Not yet.
I'm treasurer.
And I love that we appreciate each other. That's what is important. We appreciate what we are, what we represent, what our responsibilities are. We appreciate the many hours of service, all of that. And this appreciation is a value in our society today. And I think that the team that you are ready to go for, that's a new commitment. That's a new beginning. And that is why I'm voting yes. And that group there, and that president and president as secretary. Because after several meetings together, I think it's a new dream. And I think we can do it together. But that's going to take time, education, sacrifices, etc., etc. But thank you, Amy. You know everybody knows you have to worry about that. And thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. Any further discussion on the motion? Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Dr. Burrows,
Yes.
Ms. Hodgin,
Yes.
Mrs. Lawrence,
Yes.
Mrs. Lilgy,
Yes.
Dr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mrs. Willis.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your vote of confidence, everyone. Moving on to our upcoming motions. Mrs. Willis.
Madam President,
Mrs. Willis.
I don't know what you call me, but okay, yeah. I move that we adopt items B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K together as one motion. I would read into the record what each of those motions are.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Willis, we have an updated agenda, and they're not
Oh, why does it-
identified by, now you have to interpret Roman numerals.
I have it here. Madam President, I move that, gosh, what is it, 9? 9 through, nope, and then the next page is switched back to K. 9 through 16, 17, 18. Items 9 through 18 as presented the agenda.
Support.
It's been moved by Mrs. Willis, supported by Mrs. Lilgy. Mrs. Willis, would you like to read into the record what they are?
I do. By affirming these actions today, the board would approve and authorize the use of law forms as detailed in the enclosures. Our designated law firms are, where's my page? Troon, and there's one more, and Miller Canfield. Thank you. Designate depositories for school funds. Our depositories are designated as Fifth Third Bank and, oh goodness, our Fifth Third Bank, First Merit Bank, Comerica Bank, Bank of America, Flagstar, Independent, JP Morgan, and PNC. Designate our auditing firm as Manor Custodian. Designate those persons authorized to sign contracts, agreements, and purchase orders. And checks, our check signed authorizer will be Superintendent Ben Schuldiner, Contracts and agreements are authorized to be signed by Superintendent Ben Schuldener, Deputy Superintendent Sergio Keck, and Chief Financial Officer John Lang. Purchase orders may be signed by our Director of Operations, Katie White. Designated day and place and time for regular meetings, which shall be held at least once every month, and designated day for regular study sessions of the board. Included in our packet this evening is the detailed calendar for board meetings for calendar year 2022. Determine a fee charged to individuals who request notice of board meetings. Appoint Lansing School Board of Education parliamentarian, which we recommend to continue to be Mary Kay Scullion. Appoint our Title IX compliance officers, which will be Michael Jones and Une Holiness. Appoint our Freedom of Information officer, which we designate as Miracle Barton, and designate our board secretary to be our representative to the Ingham School Officers Association meetings that take place at the crack of dawn in Mason. Thanks for signing up for that, Dr. Rodriguez.
Any further discussion? Although,
Reading all those.
good job, Mrs. Willis. Will all those in favor of adoption of all of these items, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. And at 5:42, our annual organizational meeting of the Lansing School District Board of Education is adjourned, and I will see you at 6 o'clock.
I'm sure.